Since this is a special live stream, we're doing this on a Sunday. I know I don't come to you live on Sundays all that often, so want to make sure that we get those notifications up and running. So as you're coming in, a like is going to go a long way. I understand that the notifications may not go out in a timely fashion, but that's okay. So here's my notification, so at least I got it. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So as you're coming in, again, a like is going to go a long way. It's going to send out the notifications. But what we're talking about right now is real estate agents and how to dominate on social media, how to show up and show up consistently, but more importantly, how to be effective with your social media presence. Because for anything like me, to do forever is not ultimately something that you enjoy as much as the next person. So you do it out of necessity to build your business, build your brand, and continue to have a pretty good career, right? So anyway, so with social media right now more than ever being on everybody's tip of their tongue, saying you should do this, you should do that, you should do whatever way to go about social media, but also a more effective way that's going to help you. Even if you don't have a profile, even if you have posted maybe once on in a full moon, or the only time that somebody comments on your post or comments on your newsfeed is when it's your birthday, because everybody gets that notification, and then there's always the hey, happy birthday. So one time out of the year, you get 20 notifications in your inbox because that happened. So again, we're talking about real estate agents and dominating with your social media presence. So I'm going to move around this comment section so I can see you as you're coming in. If you're listening in from a different place, or really wherever you're listening from, let me know in the comment section down below. But let's get started with the social media formula. If you just remember this one formula right here, you're going to dominate social media. You're going to be fantastic. It doesn't matter if it's Instagram, doesn't matter if it's Facebook, doesn't matter if it's LinkedIn, doesn't matter whatever social media platform you're on. If you just remember this simple formula, you're going to be on your way. So to make, let me rephrase that. The types of posts that you can make on social media to actually grow your brand and grow your business. Number one is entertainment post. So you're posting to entertain. This can be via form of you just writing something out, so text form. This could be in image form. This could be in video form. It doesn't matter what form you're actually doing that entertainment in, but it's creating posts and posting on social media with entertainment value. So you are trying to create engagement with these types of posts. You're sharing a meme, you're making a joke, you're sharing a personal story about what happened with your kids, what happened with your spouse, what happened with your relatives, what happened to you back in the day. Anything that's going to help create that engagement, anything that's going to help entertain is going to draw attention to your profile. So again, this can be done on Facebook. This can be done on Instagram. This can be done on Snapchat. It doesn't matter what social media platform you go with. They are all effective if you dedicate some time to it, which we'll get into here in a little bit. But number one, create content that's going to entertain. Create content that's going to create engagement. By you entertaining, people are going to hit that like. People are going to comment. People are going to be around, right? So it's going to have that attraction to your profile. Doesn't matter what profile platform you're on, it's going to be effective. So that's step number one. Create posts that are designed to create that engagement via entertainment. Now, the second type of content, the second type of posting that you'll do on your social media is meant to educate. So educating your sphere. So if you're on Facebook, most of the people that are your friends on Facebook, they are either friends, family, acquaintances, somebody that you met in college, what have you, just some people that have been part of your life in some capacity. It's very rare that you have somebody that you just have no idea who they are and have no intention of interacting with them ever again or whatever. There's always some sort of tie, and you certainly have mutual friends among the friends that you accept on Facebook. So LinkedIn works very similarly. So those types of platforms specifically, we're talking about your sphere and your extended sphere. Those individuals, they need to hear from you very often, but they also need to hear from you in a different way. They need to be reminded consistently, and I mean consistently, that you're a real estate professional if that's what you're doing. So we're talking about real estate agents and dominating on social media. That second type of content is used to educate. So there you're establishing authority, you're establishing and reminding people that you're in real estate, that you're a real estate agent, and that you're successful. So when you're educating, that is a fantastic way to start conversations. Now, here's what happens quite a bit, especially with real estate agents. You post just when you have a just listed, or you post whenever there's a property that was sold, or you post whenever a property has, let's just say it just came on the market, so I guess just listed again. But you're posting around the product, around real estate, the actual property. Well, very rarely will somebody that's in your sphere ever happen. So something like that, if you're only sharing those, you're setting yourself up for failure. If you're only sharing that type of content, the just listed, just solds, the price reduction, all that fun stuff, that type of content is not going to get all that much engagement, and it's also not going to be that effective, because all you're doing is selling with those types of posts. And again, your sphere, they're most likely not going to purchase that property. It's just not going to be the case. So with those types of posts, again, you're setting yourself up for failure, because if you make it a habit of only sharing when you get listings, well, what happens if you go through a batter's slump? So if for those of you that watch baseball, you know that batters get into a slump. What happens when you get into your realtor slump and you don't have a property to list? When you don't have a property for 3 months at a time, what are you going to post then? If you've only been focused on that type of content, then that is something that you certainly don't want to do, because that's going to set you up for failure. So that's why if we change that focus and go from a contribution standpoint and educate individuals, then we're talking about a drastically different game. So when you're educating, you again are providing that authority, that you're speaking as a real estate professional. You're sharing when to protest property taxes and how to do it. You're talking about the homestead exemption. You're talking about why prices with new construction right now are far exceeding the resale. Anything that has to do with an education component that's going to land with most of the people that are homeowners or renters, or anybody in your sphere. Everybody in your sphere, God willing, they're housed somewhere. They're not home, although there is a big population of homeless individuals out there. So that's something that I'm not trying to make light of. But ideally, with your sphere of influence, 99.9 a home, so they have a housing need that you can educate on. You can educate about financing. You can educate about taxes. You can educate about repairs and upgrades and all this fun stuff. So something that is meant to be educational. It's a great way to bring something to the table every single day with your consistent social media posting. Again, it doesn't matter what platform, it's a way for you to show up again and again and again. Peace. So again, we're talking about the first type of content is entertainment content. That's designed to create engagement. The second type of content is education content. So that is designed to establish authority. And then the third type of content is an invitation. So what you can also call prospecting content, inviting people to work with you. Now, here's the thing. The whole, hey, use me for your next real estate purchase or your next real estate sale, that's not necessarily an invitation. That's just a commercial, right? So that's something that you want to, again, come in from a point of contribution. You want to invite people to work with you in a subtle way. So it's a way for you to make posts that give you insights as to what people are thinking. So as an example, if you're looking to get listings, if you put a post up something to the effect of, if you receive $25,000 over what you thought your home is worth, would you sell? The people that say yes, the people that say maybe, the people that say hell no, people that say X, Y, and Z, well, they have a home. So that's one thing, right? But then beyond that, you can start getting in the DMs and have those conversations. In the past, you have to have this information. You have to have this conversation on one-to-one strategy. So remember when you went through real estate school, depending on when you did, you wrote down your list of people that are in your sphere of influence, whether that's 25 people, 100 people, 250 people, and then you called them. And then you had that awkward conversation with them of, hey, I know that we went to college at Texas Tech, so do you remember? Yeah, no, I don't care. I just got my real estate license, so can you trust me with the largest financial asset that you own? Because I really need this practice. It's effectively what you're saying. It's just in a different, worded differently, right? But now with social media, when you make posts out like the ones that I just mentioned, if you received over $25,000, find themselves. So now you can have that conversation with them directly as opposed to having to call them. Because right now, most people, especially if you had no connection with them prior to you getting into real estate, or a meaningful connection with them prior to getting into real estate, then they're not going to pick up the call and you're going to be avoided. You're going to be blackballed. So I'll just give one personal testimony before I got into real estate. So I was an executive in a healthcare company. I was the chief operating officer of a network of compounding pharmacies, and that I made my first purchase. My first house was a castle. It was 4,500 square feet, three car garage, theater, two game rooms, all that fun stuff. Now I share that not to boast or anything. It's really not boast worthy, but I share that because as a 25-year-old, I was making some good money. And the people in the financial services, the people that are financial services that provide guidance on where you should invest your money, all of the people that I didn't even know that they were just friends of friends, they would call me. Hey, I'd like to invite you to coffee. Hey, when can we go get coffee? Hey, can we go get coffee? These are people that I barely even knew. Some of us went to the same church. Some of these people were in the same community, but I didn't know these individuals, but everybody was calling me because, some physical representation that I was making okay money and people wanted to reach out. I don't fault them. It's not a fault thing, but just giving you that none of them got my business. So just look at your life and how you operate in your world as well. Now I share that again as a personal witness, a personal testimony that the strategies that have been taught time and time again, those are effective in volume. Those are effective with time. Those are effective with just so much repetition. But what we're talking about here, this is a lot quicker to business. This is a lot quicker to get a listing. This is a lot quicker to get a buyer rep agreement. So let me know in the chat where you got your first listing from. Who was it from? Was it a family friend? Was it an acquaintance? Was it your own property? You got into real estate just to sell your own? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section. I am interested in learning about that. Understand this formula. You're gonna just exceed in social media. You're gonna exceed as a social media expert in your real estate field. So number 1, entertain. 2, educate. 3, invite. That's basically it. Invite people to work with you because at this point, people are connected. Now, here's the demoralizing part, and I want to really call it out right now because it's something that I battled with for the longest time, and to a certain extent, I still do because I haven't dominated all the social media platforms. I can't pretend that I have. There's some social media platforms that I just am floundering on. Giving you one example, Pinterest, a sucker that I cannot crack. So still working on it. But there's some platforms that I exceed in. So YouTube is one that I've been relatively successful in, where I haven't picked up a phone to cold call a day in my life. So that's a huge blessing. So when it comes to the biggest, one of the biggest challenges that you're going to face is when you make a post, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, what have you, it doesn't matter what social media platform, when you make a post and nobody likes and nobody comments and nobody shares and nobody engages with that post, it's going to get demoralizing. It just will. It absolutely will. But here's the thing. So just remember a couple of items with that. 1, only because somebody did not like or only because somebody did not comment does not mean that they saw you. That they didn't see you, sorry. So only because somebody didn't share, only because somebody didn't hit that like button or that heart button, they didn't see you. It just means that they didn't like, didn't comment, didn't hit that heart button. That's all that means. Now, the reason that you're trying to get some engagement, the reason that you're trying to get those likes, trying to get those comments is because it's going to feed the algorithms in every platform that you're on. So then it goes and shares to other people on your friends list, on your connections list, depending on the platform that you're in. So the reason that we're creating that engagement is for that amplification. But again, even if nobody comments, even if nobody comments on this live stream, I'm going to be okay. Because guess what? I see that there's quite a few people watching right now live, so that's awesome. But I also understand that I jumped on here just impromptu. I also understand that this video is going to live for eternity. So a few people are going to watch it today. A few people are going to watch it on Monday. A few people are going to watch it next Sunday. A few people are going to watch it a couple of months from now. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that return on investment. So kind of going to the other point that I want to illustrate, the work that I'm putting in these next couple of minutes, or the minutes that I've already put in, they are going to live for now, but then they're going to live for eternity as well, because this is going to stay on YouTube and it's going to stay on Facebook and it's going to be around. So people will find this information later on. And I want to challenge you, where else are you going to find this type of production? You certainly can't do it cold calling. The moment that you stop cold calling, the moment that you stop ringing, is the moment that the outreach ends. So if you're door knocking, and the moment that you get back into your car to go home, that's when that effort goes away. So those two platforms, and I'm not picking on those strategies, those two strategies, I'm not picking on those alone. There's several other strategies that we've been taught that are effective by themselves, but in an active way. Those two strategies, I would much rather spend an hour doing this with you, learning how to live stream and doing the actual live stream, providing something of value to you. I would much rather do this for an hour than cold call for an hour or door knock for an hour. 3, whoa, I was about to flip you off. Whoa. Because of the 3, 2 will end the moment that I stop doing it. Here, I want to make sure that we're on the same page there. Don't get demoralized because somebody doesn't like, because somebody doesn't comment. That's okay. No problem with that. Because same thing on social media. It's that repetition showing up. People do see you. They just may not comment, and that's okay. But what's more important than that is, even if they don't comment, they are now reminded that you are funny, that you are still in real estate, and that you have an opportunity to work with them, or they have an opportunity to work with you. So that's always at the forefront. And so that's something that you really don't really want to miss. And also beyond that, you also want to remember that let's just say you have 50 friends. Let's just say you have 100 friends, not that many friends on Facebook, or that many followers on Instagram, that many connections on LinkedIn. Only because that's the case doesn't mean that that's the only impact that you have. Those 50 friends on Facebook that you have, well, guess what? They have a sphere of influence themselves. So when somebody is at their house, or when they're at somebody's house or somebody's party, and they ask, hey, do you know a really good realtor? Well, I don't know if he's good or not, but I always see Jaime posting. So yeah, here's let me introduce you to him. You're activating your sphere, you're activating your friends, so now they become your street team that go and evangelize for you. So that's a way to do it. All right, so we have some comments here. So Michael, what is going on, Michael? What's the bestseller campaign? What are we talking about there, Michael? Are we talking about Facebook? Are we talking about, put a little bit more color on that. If we're talking about Facebook ads, I would say seller campaign. I would say the just sold campaign. I've made a video on this channel actually that details it further. So if you just put seller leads actually on YouTube, of the top 10 videos, 6 of them are going to be mine anyway. So you can go on YouTube and search for seller leads. I'm really the only one that's talking about seller leads at a high level. New subscriber here. Your channel is awesome. Keep up the great content. Awesome. Hey, D, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Consistency is key. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Michael. Facebook ads. Yeah, no. So Michael, thanks for being here, and thank you everyone for being here, by the way. What as far as Facebook ads, I would say the just sold ad is really the most effective one right now, where you're presenting a property that has just sold, put some impressive stats about a property that has just sold. It doesn't have to be yours, by the way. The fact that it has sold, there's really no contract on it, so check with your boards. You shouldn't have an issue. But the property that has just sold, since it's public data, you're just highlighting the fact that it has sold for a certain amount of money with a certain amount of offers in a certain amount of time, and then inviting people to have a conversation with you. So again, just tell me, bro. Haha. Well, I just told you, Michael. I don't know what to tell you now. I tried just sold ads. Didn't work. Um, well, it does work. Maybe it didn't work for you. Well, send me a message and then we'll get going here. Send me a message, Michael. Just whenever you send me a message, just feel free to DM me on Instagram. Let me see if I can find the little Instagram thing. Send me a DM. Send me the message. What I want to see to audit that campaign. Send me the ad. Just send me a snapshot of the ad. Send me a snapshot of your settings for the ad set, and I'll happily audit you through it. But it it's working. So I want to help you out. I don't want to just leave you hanging. So just send me a DM and I'll gladly do a quick audit for you. And hopefully that helps out. Thanks for being here. Your content is awesome, fellow EXP agent here. Hey, Jeremy. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Might be doing something wrong. Yeah, no, I'm happy to help out, dude. Happy to help out. Cost per lead was 20. Well, Michael, that's something that's actually not abnormal. That's not abnormal. So if you're expecting $2 to $8 leads with seller ads, that's not gonna happen. I've only had maybe a handful, yeah, actually a handful of campaigns from a seller leads campaign where I've actually dipped below $5. It's just gonna vary across the market, so I completely get that. As far as getting back on track for a quick second, when it comes to dominating on social media, you have to be consistent. You have to continue showing up. Don't get demoralized. Just get started. So number one, as far as action, so make sure that you're doing that. Again, create your profiles, complete your profiles, focus on at most 3. I always suggest 2. It's going to really help you out. And then also start inviting and connecting with people. Start going people that Facebook says, hey, suggested for you. Make sure that you're doing that. And then also having a back and forth. Go and like other people's posts. Go and comment on other people's posts. Have that engagement. Don't only come just to drop your information and then bounce. No, that's not what you're doing. So what you're doing is you're adding to the conversation, and then you're also feeding into other people, because the same struggles that you have is the same struggles that the people in your community have. Even if they're just posting for fun, just to show some a fun vacation picture, everybody wants those likes. Everybody likes those comments. So make sure that you're out there contributing to the community and maintaining a community that's going to help you and you're going to be able to help with in the long run. Folks, this has been a fantastic live stream. Really enjoyed coming on and doing these impromptu ones. I might do these a lot more. In fact, I might do these every single day going forward for about a week, but we'll see. It's just something I do enjoy. So when it comes to social media, getting started, be consistent. Real estate professionals right now more than ever, you need to create listings. You need to create engagement for these homeowners. So start creating content that only homeowners are going to find value in. You're going to be surprised how many listings you start taking. All right, we'll talk soon.